Oh, people are still jumping on. Okay, guys, we'll get started. So, okay, I took a few notes, but pretty much I'm just going to wing this because a lot of you already know what you should be doing, so I don't really want to say what you should and shouldn't be doing, but it's the first of the month, which is super exciting. So, pretty much what you should have done, or I'm pretty much going to tell you what I have done, and go from there, is it's a brand new month. So it's all about setting goals and, you know, having a roadmap to what you want to accomplish this month. I would say the first thing that you should do is print out a steps to success like this. Start with a clean steps to success and set your goal of, and claim it pretty much, of what you want to accomplish this month. How many DTs you want to sign, how many loyals you want to sign, if you want to fill your steps to success, how many times, and then figure out a roadmap pretty much on how you want to get there and what you're going to do to get there. So that's kind of the beginning of what I want to talk about. And so far I have printed my blank steps to success, clean slate, new month, and I'm ready to get to work. So I am setting my goals, and I've always explained to, you know, anybody new that's joining, you know, look at your steps to success and say, okay, I'm going to get a loyal today. Obviously, I know everyone's looking at, like, say you're a ruby and you're looking at your diamond chart and you want to get to diamond, but you know what? Focus on what you need next, because those small goals that you make are going to get you to those big goals. So I know when I first started, if I were to look at a diamond chart, when I first started, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of people, and you get kind of overwhelmed, right? So start with the small goals and figure out what you need next. If you're a ruby, you know, focus then on your next person, you know, to sign for your emerald, or whatever is next. If you need a loyal customer, focus on that. So pretty much write down your goals, okay? Write them down. It's really important. I think that, like, I know myself, I don't know about you guys, but if I have my chart to look at and I know where I'm going and write down what I want to do, it makes me feel more accomplished, and I know where I'm going and how to get there. So set your weekly goals. Set, you know, your goals of how many times you want to post a day. If you are posting, you want to post 4 to 6, you know, posts a day. Your 3-3-3 rule, friending new people every day. That's huge, because if you're not, this is network marketing. So if you're not friending new people and getting, you know, if your mouth's closed, your business is closed. So if you're just going with all those same people that are seeing your same stuff every day on Facebook, you know, and you're like, man, I'm not getting anyone, no one's interested, then it's time to reach out. You should be friending new people. If you can, you know, boost a post. I know in the beginning, you know, you don't really have a lot of money as far as boosting posts. I know I didn't. I was going, you know, paycheck to paycheck. My bank account was going negative, but every month I was still running my auto ship, and it just made me work harder. So, you know, don't get a coffee that week and boost a post for $5. So, you know, write those goals down. I actually, when I was going for triple, I actually need to start doing this again because it actually helps a lot. Something I was doing was I had a notebook, and I would write down, when I'd wake up, I'd write down the date and everything I wanted to do that day. Whether it was to reach out to 3 new teammates, whether I wanted to follow up with this person, whatever it may be, even if it's like personal stuff, like doing your dishes or cleaning your house or doing something, like make a list, because when you check those things off, I've also read this in a book, a self-development book I was reading, it just makes you feel more accomplished. So that's one tip I'm going to give. And second is your mindset. I know Amy probably talked about a lot of this stuff on the newbie Zoom, but you know, make sure you're waking up with a positive mindset, and people are going to be drawn to that. I've literally had people join me just because I was happy or, you know, I inspired them. So make sure that you are staying excited. If you're kind of like, okay, you're not feeling it, like go put a wrap on and remember why you fell in love with the products. When I first started, I, you know, was posting, and it wasn't until I did a video that I ended up getting, you know, a lot of attention, because so I could sit here and tell you all day long to like do this and do that, but I don't like doing that. So I'm just going to tell you, you know, doing like a video of you rapping. That was the first video I ever did. And it got a lot of attention because it brought up questions. People were seeing I was using the product. They were seeing how passionate I was about it. And I was explaining it. So I think that they felt more comfortable reaching out to me. So be approachable, and, you know, make sure you're being consistent with your posting, because follow-up's a big deal. And if someone is watching you, I know I had one person reach out to me and they were like, you know, I spoke to this person a long time ago, but I didn't think that they, you know, were with the company anymore because they didn't really post that often. And I was like, oh shoot, they are, you know? So, you know, try to be consistent. I think that this destination to promotion group is awesome because it's holding us all accountable and we can all work together. But definitely your mindset's everything. I honestly believe that. So if you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to fill these 4 loyal customers today on my chart, you know, on my steps of success, I am going to do this, you know, be in the right mindset. Another thing is when I wake up, I'm not a big like religious person, but it's so crazy because this company has changed me so much. And if you think that this company hasn't changed you, it will. I promise you. You will gain confidence. You will, you know, feel closer to God. I promise you. I pray for like the right people to come into my business. People who honestly want to change their lives. I honestly know what the company's capable of. I've changed, you know, my life. There's a lot of people on my team that it's changed. So I'm very passionate as it is about the company. So I pray that I get those people who are like hungry, who want to change their lives just as much as I want it for them. But one thing that I want to talk about, and I actually watched a video, Sarah Rankin did a video on talking about this. So most of you, you know, in the company already have a team. And she talked about how you have to set, like, do a task where you separate your teams, okay? Where you have a gold boat, a silver boat, and an empty boat. I don't know how many of you have seen this, but I'm kind of going to do a little spiel on this because I thought it was pretty cool, because I know I could relate to it a lot, so I'm sure a lot of you can. So the gold boat is your runners. They're the people who are working. They are the movers and the shakers, and they're running their auto ship every month. They are, you know, having their launch parties or doing wrap parties. They are, you know, the people who get like their 4 loyals before their kit even arrives at their house. They're the people who aren't like constantly asking questions every day because they're looking up their information and answering their own questions. They are pretty much the people who are saying or doing what they're saying that they are going to do. They're willing to learn, they're proactive, and they're usually those people that are in your promoting spot. So say you're Ruby, usually that gold boat person is probably your emerald or your executive spot who has 1 person under them, okay? That's the gold boat people. And the silver boat people are your people who are just like, okay, like it works is kind of just a hobby. They're, you know, not completely focused on it, not doing, you know, it works every single day, but they're signing DTs and customers here and there. And they're usually, you know, those people who are over 400, so they're like a qualified leg and stuff. So that's like the silver boat. And then there's the empty boat, who you, I think we all get caught up in mourning over the empty boats. They're, you know, the people that are in those spots where we just want it so bad for them, and they're in those boxes and we just won't erase their names, and they just don't care as much as we do. And I feel like that we get so caught up with the people that, you know, we get to know them, you know, when they start, we learn their why, we get to know them, we learn their, you know, their story and about their family and kind of what makes them tick and why they want this so bad. And they just don't want it for themselves. And I feel like a lot of us get caught up with those people, and they quit, and we kind of, you know, focus on like trying to get them, pretty much wanting it more for them than they want it for themselves. And so pretty much what Stephanie and Joel had said one year at conference was that failure is temporary, but quitting is your character and quitting is who you are. So that kind of was a like, wow, you know, that's so true. And a lot of us sit on focusing on, you know, those potentials who we're just waiting for, you know, we're waiting for them to join, we're waiting for them to want it. And we need to, I feel like, I just got this book in and I can't wait to read it. It's called Get Over Yourself. That's the next like self-development book I'm reading, which is also important in this business, because if your cup's half empty, how are we going to fill other people's cups? And especially if you have a team, it's really, really hard to focus on always being positive. And we need to be positive for our team. We need to be positive for, you know, those people we're talking to. So that's really important. But pretty much we need to get over ourselves, and people need to hear, they need to hear you. They need to hear your voice. They need to hear, you know, how passionate you are and that you were here for a reason. And if they don't want it for themselves, move on. Find those people that want it as bad as you. That is one tip that I could say that I've learned in this business. In the beginning, I was just focusing on so much about just the quantity and getting people and how many people I could bring in. And it eventually changes to the quality of the people and, you know, those people who want it as bad as you do. So pretty much you're on this team for a reason. And I feel like all of us, you know, we're creating our own story, and you just got to share it. What else do I have in here? Oh, another thing is, which is kind of awesome, because that's, I think, what this group is kind of bringing out. But a lot of us have so many people under us that are incredible leaders, and we don't even know it yet. So I know for myself, I've been trying to invest and pour more into those people. You know, there may be people that have started out slow, but they're the people that are going to be with us and on this team for the long haul. Like, they're here with us, and this is just the beginning, and they are lifers. They're the lifers. What else do I have? Does anyone have any questions as far as what they want to? I kind of just took a few notes on stuff, but does anyone have any questions that they want me to talk about?
I do. Can you share with us a little bit about how you, like, some of the things that you did, how you pushed whenever you went triple. Just some tips and tricks, whatever.
Okay. All right. So one thing that I've learned is we want to work the whole month like those months like we're promoting. And it's so funny because for a long time, I was double for a while. And I was pushing and pushing and pushing. So for those of you who are like have been at a rink for a while and you're trying to promote, keep going. I promise it will happen when the time's right. The timing has to be right with everything. So when I was going for triple, I was honestly, I was following up. It's so crazy because we get caught up in like posting and feeling like, you know, people might not be like, God, you know, I feel like I can't get anybody. And right now is the boom season. It's crazy. So I actually had been trying to promote I was so close. I think from April on. And so I went through that slow season when I was, you know, trying to promote. And I would get so close, so close. And at one point, I actually went to conference, and events are so important. So if you're not going to conference, definitely try. I missed my very first conference ever. And I remember Jessie saying, I was seeing her post and how much fun they were having and all about it. And I honestly didn't know how important it was until, you know, I saw that. And I had told her I will never miss another event ever. I sat at conference and they announced the double good bonuses. And I made a video and sent it to Jessie saying, okay, my goal was to go triple the end of March, but I guess I'm doing it this month. And I claimed it. I literally knew. For those of you who kind of don't know my story, my downline, Jesslyn, actually passed me. We were both double going for triple. And it kind of discouraged me for a while. I honestly kind of was like, you know, what am I doing wrong? And we were working together and we were, you know, reaching out to people. And I just didn't know what was going on. And honestly, it was, I think, my mindset, because I was focused on, it was almost like a competition when we should have been working, you know, more together. And I got over myself and realized that, you know, you can't, you know, compare your story to other people. And soon as at conference, when they announced that, I knew why God had the plan for me to not go triple. And what happened was when I was going triple, I focused on not a chart, okay? I focused on my team as a whole. So instead of like looking, you know, at those boxes and being so focused on those certain people, I focused on my entire team and pouring into my team. I was doing live videos. I was, you know, reaching out to people. I was having parties at my house. And honestly, it just, if you're motivated, your team's motivated. So that's really what I did. And honestly, I had the strongest, I felt like for the first time in a while, because I built so quickly, that I felt like my team was so strong. But when I went triple, literally it was already a week into February when they announced that, and I ended up doing it that month. But guys, it's you have to be willing to sacrifice things. You know, my kids to this day, you know, sometimes they're always like, Mom, you're always on the phone. And my family, you know, I remember fighting with my family a lot when I was promoting, because they're like, a lot of people don't get it, but I will tell you it's worth it. So they will get it eventually. But be sure you're following up with people. Be sure you're being consistent in posting. If you haven't created a business page, create a business page. I did it my first year, and in with this company did not have a business page. I did it all from my personal page. Yeah.
While you're talking about following up, can you explain what you did to follow up? Like a lot of people, I think, struggle with the part of following up that one time, and then people maybe saying, no, I'm not interested, or maybe saying, well, not right now, something like that. But can you explain how crucial it is to really just keep following up until no, or you get blocked, or?
Yeah. So for most people, it takes them seeing, I forgot how many times, I believe it's like 6 to 8 or 8 to 10, before they even like get the idea in their head. So when I talk about following up, I literally was going through anybody I have talked to ever in the business, even people that I thought would be, you know, even those people that ignored me. If you didn't get a response, actually that's not a bad thing because they did not tell you no. So one thing that I did for those people that are ignoring you was I actually learned this from, I believe, Elisa Fuller video a long time ago. She actually said to say you're getting ignored and you've sent out, you know, followed up, you're still following up. It's that person who you've sent 3 messages to, you know, one week and then again 2 weeks later and then a month later. I would just say, you know, hey, I hope I didn't say anything to offend you. And most of the time they respond back because they're like, oh my God, no, you know, I just got busy and, you know, I didn't get a chance to respond or something. So pretty much you want to be the first person to message those people and you want to be the last person they talk to, because if on a whim they're interested, they're going to find someone. So whether it's you or it's the next person who reaches out to them, they might not, you know, answer right away, but it takes a couple of times. I feel like with some people, I certainly didn't join right away. It took me a while, you know, and so that's really important. Another thing is reach out to those people that you want on your dream team. I know it's scary to, I'm not like a big cold message person. I've honestly had a lot of people reach out to me mostly, but those people that I feel like that I want on my team so bad that I feel like they would do good, you know, and that they just have the personality for it. Send them a message. Don't, you know, don't word vomit and send them a bunch of info, but compliment them and say, you know, I'm not sure if you've been seeing what I've been doing, but I just want to let you know if you're ever interested. I think that you would be amazing. I think that you have what it takes. What's it going to take, you know, to get you on my team, because I know you would rock this, girl, with me. That's another thing that I've done. Does anyone have any questions as far as like following up or reaching out to people? Okay. What's another thing?
I have a question.
Anything? Yeah.
Sorry, I keep butting in.
No, you're fine.
What do you do to like stay somewhat organized? Because I know that it's chaotic with the kids and with this and just life in general. Like, what are some tips that you have to? Because I know I stick with something and then I move to something else because it doesn't work. Like it works temporarily. So I'm just curious what you do.
Well, girl, honestly, you're probably more organized than I am, because I am the most unorganized person. I honestly don't even know how I've gotten this far. Honestly, I'm not that organized, but the thing that I do have going for me is I'm very personable. So like I'll go through my messages, and one thing that I do is voice message a lot. if you guys don't voice message yet, you really, really should. I know it's scary because you feel like you're going to mess up. And I tend to ramble a lot, but just do it. Just go with it. Don't even like listen to it. I will not listen to any of my videos or my voice messages or nothing. I literally just send them, and you know what? It's the real me. So be you. As far as organization, I've always bought these planners. I probably have like 20 of them, and I never use them ever. I start and I don't. But the one thing that I learned from Jessie that I do is write down all of your potentials. Get a notebook, write down, mine's up here, and write literally down all your names. Write down everyone that you've talked to. This is the one thing that I do that literally saves my life, because you're following up with people, you're messaging people, and you could lose track of someone. So write down the names and write down kind of what you talked about. So if they were like, oh, I get paid Friday, so I can send them Friday, then write that down so you can follow up with them on Friday. If you guys talked about, for instance, I just did a post that really, really went well, if you saw on my Facebook, about ThermaFit. I literally had like 30 people comment. It was crazy. I send the same message out. There's a message that Brittany created, and I kind of just fixed it up a little bit, and I sent it to each person. If you want that, let me know. I can post it in the group. But and it creates a sense of urgency, as well as be sure you're asking a question at the end when you send someone a message, so that they have to respond. Whether it's just saying yes, I'm ready, or whatever it might be, but ask a question. So then I would write down, interested in ThermaFit, doesn't have the money right now, but wants to next month. So that way I know to follow up with this person next month. So that is one thing that does keep me somewhat organized.
So whenever somebody says that they they say that they want to sign up next month, they don't have the money this month, but they want to do it next month. What do you say, that like initial message that you send them? What do you say? Somebody just asked me that to ask you.
You mean when they ask me, or after they say they don't have the money?
Well, like whenever they say they don't have the money, but they will next month. What do you say to initiate that conversation?
Well, usually, so after I sent that message, and I actually had 2 people that told me that. So they literally commented on my post saying, I'm interested. And then I reached out, sent the same message. And then at the end, pretty much it says, are you ready to get started? And they're like, yes, but I won't have the money to do so until next month. Pretty much, what I do is I tell them that, I'm very like, okay, I'm ready when you are. That's kind of what I do if they don't. Because I feel like I don't pressure anybody. I feel like, I give that sense of urgency, and I tell them, I'm putting in orders today. If I'm ready, pretty much I'm ready when you are. That's kind of been my response for the people that don't have the money, but I always be sure to follow up with them. If they say next month, I'm messaging them next month. If there is a sale going on, so say like something happens and they bring out BOGO or something, then even if it's not next month, I'm messaging them still, just being like letting them know that there's this sale going on. So that's kind of what I do. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Kaylie, do you say the same things as you would message?
I think you froze. Uh-oh.
Yeah, she must have froze.
Yep, I think she froze. she's gone.
Yep.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So if they, like Brittany had said, if they say within a month and then you check back with them and they're like, oh, well, not until next month. Like, how do you keep following them like month after month after month? Because I've had somebody who's been keep saying every month for like the past 5 months.
And honestly, it kind of comes down to like, okay, well, you know, if they don't want it bad enough, because my actual post was about being a model for ThermaFit. That's kind of what it was. But one thing that I've been doing with that is when someone messages me, because I actually had some people comment that are looking to lose a little bit more weight. So even in my message, I have said, here, I can actually not read it real quick, but I can kind of, I want to just see a message quick. All right, right here. So in it, I'm saying that pretty much I'm giving them a discount. One thing that you can do is reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm putting in orders today. You know, I can give you 40% off. I'm starting, you know, a challenge group. That's kind of what my post was about, that I'm starting a 90-day challenge. I would still follow up with that person, even if they are saying, you know, they don't have the money, because they're still somewhat interested. Like, they took the initiative to comment on the post. So I would still follow up with them. They're bound to say yes sometime. It might, you know, just when they're ready, they're ready. I feel like timing's everything with this company, whether it's them joining or them ready to lose weight or they're ready to finally try a wrap that they've been talking about. When the timing's right with each person, I feel like. And if you push someone, you're going to end up, they're going to then be like, oh, well, I didn't even use it yet, or, oh, you're going to end up be doing the work for them, you know. So definitely timing's everything. So I would never push anyone into anything if they weren't ready.
Hi, Kylie.
Hi.
It's Shannon.
Hello.
Okay, so I have absolute no fear when it comes to blitzing strangers in malls and stuff.
Okay.
But there's been something that has been brought up in a conversation, and so how do you swing your wording to the people? What do you give them if you have no blitz cards? I'm out of blitz cards. What is the next thing that you do? Because you sound similar to me, where you're not pushy, but you're still confident.
Yep. I honestly, I get them to, okay, so I love talking to people, and say you don't even have anything. I honestly hand them my phone and I always get their contact info. I rarely ask for their phone number, but I always get them on Facebook. So if I'm talking to them, even, I mean, whether I have a blitz card or I don't, which is besides the point, but I always still get them on my Facebook. Whether it's I'm in a mall or whether I'm at a nail salon, I will literally hand them my phone and say, here, type in your name so I can add you on Facebook, you know. I do a lot of my business stuff on there. I do raffles and free products and stuff like that. So I always get them, and when they type in their name, I will screenshot it so I don't lose track of them. And that is one thing that I do. It's so funny because at conference last year, I was getting a picture with Carrie Bauer. Well, Carrie Young now, I guess. But I was getting a picture with her, and she was like, oh, can you please send that to me? And I was like, here, will you type in your name? And she goes, I can tell you're a good blitzer in public. And it's honestly just, I feel like if I have them on my Facebook, whether I have their number or not, if they're on my Facebook, they get to see those posts every day, and they get to see my why, and they get to see those videos and stuff. So I always make sure I get them. Obviously, if they're not on Facebook, then it would be, to get their phone number and get on a a phone call with them or something. But that's what I do. That's my thing.
Okay, thanks. That's exactly what I do. So
Yep.
it is. I do. I literally in La Senza the other day we were talking about stick-on bras, and I told her what the dress looked like. I showed her the shoes. We were talking about conference. Everything was going so amazingly. I had asked her, oh, I've got, I have a website. That's how we do with our products. And she's like, this is so amazing. And I said, well, are you on Facebook? She said, yes. And I literally got to the search key in Facebook and said, here, find your name, hit add, and then I'll send you a quick message and let you know it was me.
Yep.
Perfect.
Kaylie, I actually got kicked out of Zoom, so let's.
Yeah, I saw you froze.
So when you do your messaging, you have pretty much standard copy paste messages, I'm sure. But when you do your voice messaging, do you say basically the same things, or do you do what?
Well, it all kind of depends. Honestly, I've been more. Depending on the person, honestly, I've been trying more to be more personable with each person and not saying the same thing. Obviously, if I'm going hardcore following up, then I'm sending that same message to everyone. But sometimes I just want to if they ask a question, I don't want to just type it out, and it's so much easier. And you know what? I think that it's more. It's just they feel better hearing your voice. Sometimes I feel almost getting on them on the phone. One thing that I've been doing lately is getting people, instead of just sending them that video and giving them the information that I've always done. One thing new that I've been doing is trying to just get them on the phone to go over the startup and just pretty much giving the details. If they don't have time for a phone call real quick, then I'm doing a voice message and just explaining it. And I'm just going through it's $99 to start. You can make your investment right back, and I'm kind of just going through what it's about. So I guess it all depends. My voice messaging, I kind of wing it a little more, and it depends on for the ThermaFit thing, I actually sent out the generic message. But then if they said yes, I would kind of do a voice message and be like, okay, I just wanted to, voice message you quick to let you know that there is, depending on your goals and your budget, there are packs with the ThermaFit in, that are included, new packs, and I would kind of go over the packs and what they are. So, I pretty much, they're all different. It's different with every person, I feel with voice messaging.
Thanks, Kaylie.
Welcome.
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so when you send out the messages for the 90-day challenges, and then somebody replies back and says, what do I do? What is the best answer to give on that?
If they say, what do I do?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would say that, okay, let's use my ThermaFit post, for instance. My post was for, if anyone didn't see it or hear me, that I was looking for 5 models to try ThermaFit for a 90-day challenge at my cost. And I think in the post it said that it was, to help burn calories, helped, boost your metabolism with energy or whatever.
Right.
So if someone would ask me, what do I do? I pretty much would say that you are trialing a product for 90 days and giving an honest testimony on what, on the product. I would just keep it short and sweet and just say, I'm looking for people to trial ThermaFit for, 90 days, and just give me an honest testimony. It's one of my favorite products. It really is. I love ThermaFit. I take it every day. So, if it's something you like, I would, give your opinion if you've tried it. And I would just be like, that's honestly what I would say. It's one of my favorite products for this company. And I'm just looking for, people to trial it and give me an honest review.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
I also like, Kaylee, how you always say that you're always talking about 90-day challenge or 12-rep challenge. That way it keeps us from talking about auto ship all the time. That scares people.
Yep. I
So,
actually,
talking
yeah,
about
that's important because they're already, your wording is super crucial because I used to send this generic message on like what a loyal customer is. So like if they were to ask me on the pricing, instead of me saying, okay, it's this price, but if you do my 90-day challenge, I can give it to you at this price. So instead of like keeping it short and sweet, I used to send this copy and paste message that I used to do on what a loyal customer is, and it explained like, okay, you know, it's 3 months and then you can cancel after 3 months. And that, honestly, sometimes I wouldn't even get a response to that because it scares people away. So doing like, if they think they're part of doing a 90-day challenge, they already know that they're going to be committing to the 90 days. So, and the same thing with the 12 reps and 12-week challenge. It's just better wording. That's one thing you'll learn in this business, like from the beginning and, you know, years down the road, you get better. It's all a learning process, honestly. Does anyone have any other questions?
I had one. Can you hear me? It's Carrie.
Yep, I can hear you.
Hi. I've had some pretty good luck with loyal customers, but I guess I was just looking for maybe some recommendations in attracting, you know, people that want to join the team.
Oh, this is my favorite. Actually, this is usually signing DTs are my jam. It's usually loyals that I have more of a harder time with. But it was kind of the opposite this month. It was kind of crazy. But the biggest tip on that is share. Okay, so in the beginning, when people are asking you like, oh, you know, well, how much money? I feel like in the beginning, most people are like, well, how much money have you made with the company? That's one big thing that people ask, I feel like. And we're all like, oh God, like I just started and I haven't really made that much with it. So it's scary. But honestly, what I always have done is use Jesse's story. So like use your upline story if you don't have one yet. And, you know, I would always talk about her story and I would say, like, okay, well, this month I'm going for Ruby and that's an average of this amount. So, you know, just be proactive and be like, you know, don't necessarily say like where you are, or, oh, well, I haven't gotten anybody yet, but say what you're going for. If you're going for a bonus, be like, you know, I'm going for this $500 bonus this month and I would love to work with you. See, it's always been easy for me because, you know, once you start creating your own story, I feel like I'm way more passionate. Like I love the products, but I feel like I'm way more passionate about the business just because I know what it's done as far as my life and stuff. But the biggest tips I would say, you know, use a story, share a story, and even have, if you have your upline help you talk to a potential. That's one thing I did in the beginning is I had Jesse, like when Jesselyn joined, I got Jesse right on the phone and, you know, had her kind of tell her story also because coming from her, you know, from obviously, you know, she trusted me, Jesselyn trusted me, but she was kind of like, yeah, right. She's making she's a triple making $10,000. Yeah, right. So that's one tip maybe that you could do also is get someone else, get your upline on the phone and help with the call also.
Well, thank you. I also want to say that I used your model ThermoFit.
Did it work good?
I had this dude like message me saying, "Oh, I did some modeling in college."
It's funny you say that because instead of saying like a product tester, I did models. And I forgot because I think I took the post from someone else. So it said models. So like there was this one girl who legit thought she was modeling, and I'm like, no. No. Like, it's just, giving a testimony on the product. I'm looking for, people. So it's funny that you say that.
I was like, not modeling in the traditional sense, but I love it after.
Right. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have any questions?
Thank you, Kaylie, very much.
You're welcome.
I think you answered a lot of questions that many people were wondering. So I think it was awesome.
Good, thank you.
Questions, feel free to ask your leader, or you can message Kaylie in person and she can get back to you tomorrow since it is getting late. But and then let us know. You did awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.